What's up, guys? How you guys doing? My name is Saxable. I'm here with my bro Saxman Joe, and we're gonna be talking about the development of this black music, y'all. My man Joe, I'll let him tell you about himself, but me, I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and we're gonna be talking about the development of this black music. So I'll let Joe tell you about himself.
How y'all doing, everyone? My name is Joseph Miller. I'm originally from here in Miami, Florida, but I currently live in New York City. And yeah, I play some saxophone and things like that. We're gonna just rap a little bit about the development of instrumental black music and how that kind of deals with the scene and how sometimes you know some developments in the music can be looked down upon by some people who may be at the top, and how we need to turn that around and make sure that everyone gets a chance to say what they need to.
Exactly. So, like I live in Miami now, but Joe is still currently in New York. So, like I spent like 4 to 5 years in New York, and right now I'm back and forth, and Joe is back and forth, but he's mainly in New York. So, we just want to talk about the progression of his music because we're both two young musicians and we love this music. So, I'll let Joe start it off.
Yes, so uh, uh, as a New York City resident currently living, uh, and as an also an active participant in the scene there in New York as well, I'm able to I have a good seat and seeing, things that may happen, kind of trends and waves that come through the scene in New York and what people like and what people don't like and what people tend to how do you say gravitate towards when it comes to different players or different music and what they kind of, check off on and don't check off on. And sometimes that could be detrimental to the forward momentum of the music, because people may not understand what someone is doing, or they may not necessarily like the music or the sound that may come out of somebody's instrument. And because of those things, it can, put a damper on, you know, the diversity of sounds that you hear when it comes to the music. Um, sometimes you have people that may sound the same. You may have music that sounds the same, and honestly, a big part of that is coming from the institutions that do bring the music. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think may have some play as to why the scene is the way it is?
Okay, so one of the things is what the institution is. Okay, this music honestly is just really black music. And the problem is we have white individuals, Asian individuals telling black music behind their side of the story through a book. And like our ancestors, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, this music is just an expression of what a black person went through. Sorry. I don't want to say a black man or black woman. This is just our expression. So one of the things I've been doing right now, for the last year, I've been focused on the development of hip hop. Now, one thing I have noticed about New York is a very historical city. But the thing is, people are not comfortable with change. And by change, I mean like in New York, okay, we still have people playing standards. And standards are totally fine because you learn certain things in the standards, like the characteristics of what makes the ancestors great. So that's definitely great. But one of the things that, like, me personally, I would like to see on the scene, like when I was in Detroit, like I got my people, my generation. Like Detroit is a scene that needs to be like really imitated. New York is very competitive, and that's great. Keep that going. But like one of the things is we gotta go to the future. We gotta go to the future, y'all. Like those standards, man. Learn them. Like I used to learn from Rick Hargrove at Smalls. When I was there, I was with him every night. He really stressed about learning the history. you guys got to learn the history as much as possible, but not be afraid of the future. One of the things I like to see in New York is that people start incorporating their original songs at the jam sessions, like during Thelonious Monk time, John Coltrane, like Charlie Parker, the cats, they knew each other's songs. Like we need to have songs of our generation, y'all. Like it's not 1940s, not the 50s, not the 60s. It's 2022, and that past, the what happened in that history, we're never gonna get it back because that was their time. But one thing we can do is we can focus on the characteristics of the music. So like Love Supreme. Why do people love Supreme? Why do people love Supreme? So they love Supreme because of the emotional feeling that it gives. They love the blues. They love the melody. They love like just the storytelling, the creativity. So what we're trying to do, guys, in New York, what I'm trying to get people to understand is we're not leaving anything behind. We're doing continuation, guys. So if you listen to my last two albums, when I was 16, I wrote some of that music. I might not have been the best saxophone player. I might not have been the best, had the best tone, but what I have learned is I always knew about those characteristics of what made the music great. So we just want people. We're just trying to use our voice in any way we can to get people to understand what makes the music great and to stop focusing on the actual standards of that time because that was standards of those times. And what made those songs actually so popular is when people are in the venues, right? And they singing the lyrics. They singing the lyrics, y'all. And they know the lyrics, but the average person, they don't know the lyrics. So if you look in our jazz audience, we got like I played thousands of jazz gigs. And a lot of those people in the audience, they were older people. Older people. That's great. That's beautiful. But if we want to continue this, y'all, we got to get some younger folks in the crowd. We got to play some that the young folks listen to. If you like, look at the way Miles Davis moves, always constantly changing. You know, one of the things people, I got into the crypto scene, and that really taught me that really taught me how much people hate to learn and how much people have to change. But the way the world's going, y'all, I'm letting y'all know we got to be ready for change and we got to use this technology. We got to use this technology. A lot of, I saw how it is in New York. A lot of jazz musicians don't want to use technology. A lot of them don't build up their Instagrams. A lot of them don't build up their social medias and say like my big bro James Carter, um, like Kenny Garrett. These are people from Detroit, but they grew up in a time when they didn't need TikTok followers. They didn't need Instagram followers. Now people like, oh, let me hear what you play. They searching you up. Like your social media actually matters. So like guys, focus on your social media and let's talk about how we gonna progress the music. And to go back to the jam session songs, we gotta have jam session songs that people can play and people can feel in the soul and the spirit and people can just like what was that song? One of the songs that Roy wrote, from the top of my head. That's it's a very easy song, but sometimes the easiest songs is not the easiest to play because you got to put the life into them. So I'm gonna give it back to my man Joe.
Yeah, that was really great, Benny. Like one of the points that you made that I thought was really profound was the fact of change. Like a lots of people, especially within this music, can be afraid of change. And I think this era that we just came through, the pandemic, really showcased how important being able to change with the times or change with the environment is. Because again, in New York, New York is nothing but live venues and live music. And because of the pandemic, a lot of that ceased for a good long time. And lots of people, on the scene were extremely worried and trying to kind of re-establish themselves on social media or on different platforms and able to make money, make bread. And I really do agree with the fact that how important change is and how important being able to change with the times is, to keep yourself relevant and also to keep this music from dying. You know, they always say jazz is dead or all this stuff is dying. Is jazz, you know, and I think it isn't dead. It just needs to be, there needs to be new life breathed into it. You know, it's okay to change. It's okay to bring in music. It's okay to play in different genres, but still call it jazz. If it's instrumental, I think it's jazz. If it's instrumental, it's instrumental black music. Like it's all coming from us. And one thing too, as well, is that I think needs to happen as well is the integration of it all. Like jazz has always had a long history of integration. We need each other to be able to produce this music on a high level. Like we can't ostracize people from playing this music. So the thing is, it is important to understand that, um, I tend to see a lot of non-black people have a lot of power and say so within the scene, especially in New York City. Not a lot of blacks hold the keys, if for lack of a better term, to kind of punch into the scene or punch it into the industry, and it needs to be understood that we are the ones who created this music and who invented this music, and for that not to be looked down upon, and also for their descendants who are us to not be looked down upon as well when we come and bring in new ideas or come in and bring new styles of music. All of that stuff I feel like needs to be accepted in order for us to progress, in order for us to be in tune with what's happening now. Jazz has always been about what's happening in the times, what's happening now. It's always been an expression of what was happening in that time. And I think we're doing a disservice to the music if we don't do that.
Yeah, and like literally one day I woke up and I said, man, if everybody knows Louis Armstrong, everybody knows Miles Davis, and I said, okay, guys, I said, how come I can't be as famous as Lil Wayne, as Drake, Lil Baby, playing the saxophone? Why can't I be as famous as LeBron? So actually, when I came down south, well, Florida is the South, but I don't really feel like it's the South. But that's another day for another story. But man, I got to see how other people react. So New York is like I said, New York is a very hysterical place. One of the funny things I notice about New York, especially in the village area, musicians can play whatever they want and not care for what the audience thinks. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But I think musicians need to be a little mindful of what the audience likes. And like, I'm not saying you got to put a hip hop beat behind it for it to be progressive. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, guys, you know, what I'm saying is we got to play songs that gravitate to a younger audience and remember that this music is progressing, y'all. So, what I, to me, in my personal opinion, what I think is that the African Americans that came before us really showed us all the way. Like in terms of like Charlie Parker set the standards of creativity, playing melodic, Beethoven, Barry Harris set the standard of how to teach. And one of the things I would like to see, and if Barry Harris got to live like a little longer, like how would he have used technology to keep teaching with Zoom? Like, that's really interesting. Like, so guys, yeah, we gotta, you know, so to go back to Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Ben Webster, Sidney Bechet, even there's players that people don't even really know about, don't even talk about, like that should be recognized. That's one of the reasons why I like Roy Hargrove, because Roy Hargrove really took like everything and showed you. But what I'm trying to do, guys, what I think we need to do is we need to incorporate technology. Incorporate technology. Somebody get an update on their phone, they like, dang, they mad because they don't like that change. But the phone was only upgraded to make your life easier. So this technology was upgraded to make our life easier. So what I'm saying for us, what we gotta do, sorry, is we gotta use technology to grow, and I think we gotta play more. We gotta play more songs that younger folks know on the radio and what they listening to, while still incorporating bebop, while still incorporating what Ornette did, while still incorporating the swag of Lester Young, because like like the the musician, the jazz musician, we should be part of everything. Like like that's why so many cats be going through depression. Is like when you playing that bebop language, you know you playing something that everybody can't play, but why you not eating? Like why you not eating? Like you know what I'm saying? But like one of the reasons why you not eating is because you trying to impress people in the grave. People in the grave can't pay you. Cause they in the grave, they sleep. They somewhere in heaven living good. So I can see Miles Davis is looking down on us like, yo, we gotta switch it up. We gotta switch it up. So that's what we doing, y'all. So I'm gonna leave it the last words to Joe if he has something to say, y'all.
Yeah, I think I'll just say this, like, just change is good. Change is important. Change built us. Change has created some of the most important moments in history. Change is nothing but good. I know, and sometimes change is scary. Yes, it's true. But change hasn't come. Like change is not here to hurt us. Change is here to make us better. So let's not be afraid of it. Let's accept it. Let's get some of this technology stuff into our music. Let's get some of the technology stuff into how we promote ourselves, how we market ourselves as musicians and as musicians of instrumental black music. Like this is what we need to do in order for us to stay alive, and in order for us to reconnect with our generation, the generation that's coming up right now. It's very important for us to do this. So I hope you guys take what you're hearing and take what you're listening to and kind of resonate with it and sit down and think about it for a little bit and think how you have helped. Like think about yourself and think about, okay, what have I done to like, am I a person that's like opposed to change? Am I a person that loves change? Like think about that and see how that helps with how you think about our conversation here. And if you want to, you should go and speak about this. If you're a musician yourself, speak about this with some of your other musician friends and have a discussion about it and see what people come up with.
And lastly, what I want to say is, guys, we need mentorship. We need mentorship, y'all. Y'all gotta love people for people. In New York, everybody just like, yo, if this person can't play, f them. He can't. Y'all can't be like that. You can't be like that, y'all, because we all into this. We all in this together. I think like the average jazz musician in New York might make like 10,000 a year. Nobody should be having egos. We should all be humble and trying to learn from each other. Like we in this together. We need community, y'all. We need the young and the old working together for the future, y'all. So my Instagram, my social media, everything is under Saxable, SAXABLE, and then my man Joe.
Everything is under Saxman Joe, SAXMANJOE.
Okay, y'all. So we in Florida right now, but we're gonna continue this in New York. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we got some videos, some dope video of us playing like some Kendrick Lamar. We play some Lil Baby, and we're gonna throw a little J. Cole in there, y'all. So, but like if you listen to the lines we playing, we ain't, don't listen to how hard the melodies we playing. Just listen to the music, y'all. Just listen to this is just black music. We just expressing ourselves.